Okay, so I've actually got a pretty big surprise for you, and this is actually kind of fun for me too, because I'm actually getting to interview one of my idols. So, gentlemen, Mr. Chris Ward. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's hot. We're here in Phoenix.
It's very hot, and I see you're surrounded by all of this Arabian stuff. What's up with that?
We're here promoting our new big Tales of the Arabian Nights, our big new release.
Okay.
For summer. It's the 3-part movie. It's gonna come out every month all summer long.
Okay.
It's kind of like my old movie Arabesk we released some years ago, which was the top-selling gay porn movie of the last 10 years.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Because I've got a copy of that.
50,000 units.
Holy shit.
Yeah. At a time when we're only now selling 1,000 if we're lucky.
That's actually, you know, there's something that I actually wanted to ask you about, is that the industry is changing so much. You know, we are getting away from hard goods. We are going to an online thing, and I know a lot of the DVD studios that were doing the really polished high-end stuff, some of them have been having a little trouble making that jump. Are you having?
We're doing okay because we're part of AEBN, a big multi $100 million big company. So we have a lot of support and a lot of outlets for our product, both on the web and in hard copy. But hard copy sales aren't what they used to be. And unfortunately, every time you watch a movie on the web, you're paying $4 or $5. When you watch it on DVD, you're paying $49 or $59.
Yeah.
So even though there's more customers, they're paying less. So it really hurts companies to try to do high-end movies with big budgets. We like to go in and spend a couple $100,000 on movies.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to do. We only do it a couple times a year now.
I mean, the problem that I've noticed is that, because I've started directing for Cocksure Men now, which was something I was never really planning on doing.
That's exciting, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
How many scenes have you directed?
I'm up to about 40 or 50 now.
Wow.
Yeah. And some that I'm really, really proud of. Like some that I've shown my mother, People are horrified when I tell them that, and she is too. But at the same time, I'm like, hey Mom, you sent me to film school, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But no, the thing is that I've got a really short time that I can turn around a scene, and I've got to bring it in low budget. I don't have a big crew there. I don't have 5 weeks to,
It doesn't take a lot of money to film a good sex scene. If you really get in there and direct it and get some good actors and have some decent light so you can see it, you can work magic with a small amount of money.
And you said something cool to me just a minute ago before we started, that a director is a director and not a journalist.
Yeah, there's 2 theories of directing, I think. And some directors go in and point the camera and record what happens. Other directors go in and actually direct and use the models and work with the models to create really good pornography. So, and the journalist approach might be a little more authentic, I suppose. You're recording actual sex that's happening, but sometimes the actual sex that's happening isn't really the best porn. If you can't see it, it's not good porn. It may feel good,
sure,
but it does to the actors or to the guys there, but you can't really. It's not good porn for a viewer to watch. So I always tell my directors. I have like 6 directors working with me now. One of the things I tell them is that you're there to direct. You're there to help the actors show it off and play to the camera, and encourage them. Be a cheerleader sometimes, and really get a good performance. You're not there as a journalist, a photojournalist, just recording something that's happening in a room. And that's the most important advice I can give to young and new upcoming directors: is you're a director. Direct.
Okay, and I'll actually take that. Now, how did you get into it? Because you've been doing this for, I've been watching your stuff since I was probably too young to be doing it, so.
Like 10 or 12 years now.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm exaggerating, but.
Well, I have a PhD in history and archaeology, and I used to teach at the university, and I moved to San Francisco. My partner at the time was a doctor, a medical doctor, and I could keep my job at the university or follow him to San Francisco, and my job was $30,000, his was $300,000, so I gave up my career and moved to San Francisco and ended up over at Hot House directing some movies. It was very exciting. I approached them. I was a porn fan, and I said, I can do as good as this. I can do this. This is not that hard to do. I didn't realize all the complications of it, of course, but I went in with great enthusiasm. My first movies there were big hits, and it's been great ever since.
Cool. All right. Now, favorite movie you've done? Do you have one? Can you have one?
I do have a few. Okay. That I really think that when I'm long gone and forgotten by almost everybody, if there's only a couple movies they remember me for, is probably Arabesk. was a big one. You know, I won Best Director and Best Movie 2 years in a row now for To the Last Man and Grunts. Those are two very big movies. But there's also a little movie that I made once that I think is really good. It's called Manifesto, which is a really nice movie with... Those are my favorites, I think.
Okay.
My favorite title, though, was Raiders of the Lost Arse, which we shot... That was actually one of Raging Stallion's first big hits.
Okay.
Raiders of the
I don't
Lost
actually
Arse.
remember that one. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to go through my DVDs and see if I got it.
We had a mummy and a tomb, and it was everything. It was great.
Yeah.
And I said, if I can make a mummy sexy, then I can do anything.
Did you do a mummy sexy?
Oh my God, it was like the best sex scene. Won all kinds of awards. People still talk about it as being one of their favorite scenes. There's a Money Just Rose. It was played by this guy who was a big star back in the old days named Bryce Pierce, and he is in this beautiful tomb with this amazing music, and he's unwrapping his things very sensually, and then it turns into this over-the-top fuck fest. It's awesome.
Now, are you surprised? Because there's some scenes that I've done that I'm surprised that I'm still like that. I directed I wasn't even really directing so much as I was the journalist in this case when I was still working at Frat Pad, and I captured one of the jack-off races, which turned into one of those lightning in a jar moments.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, that was 5 years ago that I did that, maybe, and I still have people stop me on the street and say, that jack-off race is such and such, and I never thought while we were doing it that it was going to be that. And are there any scenes that you've got like that you at the time were just kind of like, oh, this is sort of fun, but they're still talking about them years later, that you were sort of surprised?
Oftentimes, you know, when you're filming porn, it can be frustrating sometimes. You know, we film thousands of scenes, so you always have those ones that are a little more frustrating to shoot than the others. And I often walked away from the set having filmed that thing, and I'm very surprised how well they turn out. And so it's often a surprise for me to see something I think isn't all that when you actually get in the editing process, because I edit all my own stuff as well, and so I'm able to look at it and say, wow, this is not bad, this is good.
Now, I didn't know that you did all your own editing too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's because that's the hard.
Well, back when I started Raging Stallion at the very beginning, I did the first website, I did the first box covers, I did all the casting, directing, and editing. It was kind of a one or two man show.
Something I've always wanted to ask you about too. I remember seeing the trailer for To the Last Man.
Right.
And the thing that struck me about it was that you were promoting a porn movie using a trailer that had 7 murders and no sex in it whatsoever.
Well, we had two trailers, so you only saw
I saw that one. And I remember watching it thinking it was one of the most brilliant things that I'd ever seen, because you were creating this whole just shitstorm of controversy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But and it's true, and it exploded.
And I had a blast killing porn stars. It was great.
Oh yeah.
We just plotted these nasty ways to kill porn stars. So I had a lynching. I had a big shootout in the end, which was really fun to direct. It was sort of a Western style shootout. I love that. We burned somebody. We slit some throats. We drowned somebody. It was like how many different ways. We sort of thought about it like being like a Coen Brothers sort of approach to grinding people up in a Fargo.
Yeah. No. That's I don't. You didn't have a wood chipper, did you?
No, we didn't have a wood chipper. But I did have one where we shot him, then we bashed his brains out and threw him in a pit and set him on fire with those screams.
That was pretty intense. Because I talked to Tristan Jacks.
He's the one we burned.
Yeah. Because I just shot a scene with him and Connor Habib, and I had them in.
Aren't they great?
Oh, they're fantastic.
Connor Habib
to work
and
with.
Tristan Jacks. Did you get 2 massive cum shots? Because they both are the biggest cum shots I've ever seen.
Unbelievable. And the fun thing about that scene is that it was really the most gonzo thing that we did, which is that it started out really as a photo shoot, just testing lighting and playing around, and they started making out, and so we just aimed the camera at them and started going, and that was it.
They're both really good performers. They love sex, and they perform really well, and they both shoot these. Oh my God, how do they have that much cum? I don't know.
I just every time, and you know, and Connor's proud of it. I mean, he's just I'm gonna have a bigger cum shot if I do it without getting fucked. I'm like, dude, your cum shot is big enough with a dick in your ass, so that's just fine.
He's actually of Lebanese descent, and he was a big feature player in our new movie, Tales of the Arabian Nights.
Okay, cool. So we can see him in that, but
with a huge cum shot.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, there we go. Chris, thanks so much for talking to me. I'm so proud to call you. I don't know. Can I call you a friend? Can we do that? All right. I don't know. We've
had lunch together for years.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've hung out together. So yeah,
we're still speaking. So
we're still on speaking. there have been times lately where I'm not sure who I'm on speaking terms with anymore. But there we go. Anyway, thanks very much, and we'll see you soon.
Remember,
Bye.
don't be a journalist.
Always. No, I'm gonna take that one to the bank.
Direct.
Always. Thank you.